Folks, what is up? We are back with another one, as usual. Hope you all had a good weekend, and this week I caught up on some Master Duel single player, and I know it's kind of like a meme in the Yugioh community that haha, Ghost Trick is bad. The single player campaign is specifically for the sleeves. I think it's the Alucard sleeves. I almost had to deck out the CPU in order to win that game. They just kept finding ways to stall. They had like Battle Fader, and at some point I kind of just stopped playing. I was just like, I have like 5 huge things on board. I'm gonna just keep trying to ram it in there because I'm just getting impatient at this point. And yeah, needless to say, I did not go for the Alucard icon. I used Numeron to swiftly defeat them and collect my 200 gems. I also built Runic. I saw that the archetype plays like instants. You could play the quick plays from your hand on their turn. I was like, oh, dude, that's so sick. And then I found out it's just Floodgate Turbo. I also have a question. Is that the best mill deck? Because it seems pretty strong. I mean, I got demoted to silver, and so I got through silver like very fast playing that deck, but I think it's like tiered. Anyway, comments time. There were so many good ones. There's so many good ones. I wish I could put all of them on screen. Eric here points out that the recruiters just search for other recruiters and thin your deck. That is something I didn't really think about. I was kind of just seeing the recruiters as, okay, you want this like core piece of the combo, or you want to, you know, find your labyrinth wall or something like that. But thinning your deck to find these busted spells that swing the course of a game, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. User Zero says, Megamorph can equip to the opponent's monster. That's removal. That's smart. It's just a nice little 1-for-1, and in a pinch, it's just something you can equip to your own monster to end the game, possibly. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Still equipment, but equipment that can double as removal, I feel like has a little bit more of a niche, especially in limited. Like if you were to do sealed. Darkness Approaches used to be able to flip face down attack position. And apparently face down attack position is a lawless land. Nobody knows what to do. I mean, I figured it would be kind of self-explanatory, but with how many cards there are in Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm sure there is so many complications with it by this point. I guess that would be my question. What would happen if you could play something in face down attack? Is there certain rules interactions between cards, or is it just a fundamental game mechanic that just breaks something? I know Ghost Tricks like to be in face down defense. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Oh, and one thing I missed pretty hard on, a lot of people let me know about it, was Giant Trunade. I pretty much undershot that pretty hard. I was just thinking of like the spell trap removal, like more of the mass ones. Giant Trunade is just a really, really good tempo play, especially if the game is getting a lot faster now with all these tutors and all these hand-ripping cards and all these insane spells. Another commenter also mentioned Cyberstein, and like it kind of like saying like, wait till you get to it. Oh, don't worry. I've been well acquainted with Cyberstein and the freaking OTK deck that, or no, not OTK, FTK deck, that the bots used to do. They used to do this huge pendulum combo and then just one-shot you with a Cyberstein that keeps summoning something out of the extra deck that just one-shots you. I don't even know how it works. All I know is usually when I see them and they get to a certain point, I just scoop. I didn't really bother to sit there and watch it. Oh yeah, and the Black Lotus comment about Black Lotus being the pot of greater magic. Yeah, I could see that. That seems just true. And like when I read that comment, I was like, is it the pot of greater magic because it's known as the epic expensive card? Like the thing you go on eBay and it's trying to get sold for $1 million? Or is it known for its power level? And it's just both, kind of, because Black Lotus is really freaking good. Okay, and with that, this week, I'm going to do the Tournament Pack 2, and I'm going to try to front run some of the promos. I'm not going to start Pharaoh Servant yet, just because I didn't really like the format of doing some Tournament Pack and commons, and then doing like the rares later. I kind of want to just do them all in one shot. So there's so many of these like extraneous promos that seemingly look like they just have new cards in them. So I kind of want to like do them. Like there's no cards left behind here. To start off, Tournament Pack 2, we have the beautiful Water Magician. Yeah, really not much to say here. I have a feeling this is probably going to be a theme for the commons in this pack because it looks like they're all vanillas, and I assume if they're not 1800, which, I mean, she's not even close. It's going to be a little bit rough. Water Magician, you get an F. I do like your staff. Got that kind of ruby little grip there. Okay, next we have Sky Dragon. Here we have a tribute monster that is, again, terribly understated. Understated. What do we have going on in the artwork? Wow, this is another one of those where the more I look at it, the more confused I get. Wow, I am confused. It looks like his talons are in his mouth. I'm trying to like envision the body structure here with like the four wings. What shape is this? Are those talons in his mouth? Like I can't tell. Like the layering is confusing me. And then like he has, or she has, like wings coming out of the back, but they're like clear or transparent, or is that just background? Whatever's happening in the background. Interesting card. Yeah, it's not getting any better. I've been looking at this for like 2-3 minutes. It's not gonna work here. But we are going to give you an F. Okay, see, this one's easier to parse. I can understand what's happening here. It's a parrot and it's a dragon. It's also an F. A dragon from the cartoons that's more dangerous than it appears to be. From the cartoons. Wait. Who's this supposed to be from? From the cartoons? What does that mean? Oh, is this like a toon card? Oh, you know what? Speaking of which, it's funny they mentioned cartoons. The fact that toon monsters are a jab at Magic the Gathering with like the summoning sickness and all that, that is very funny. A couple people commented on that too. The fact that Konami has to send you to Clown World in order to use the cards, it's the perfect jab. I love it. Crawling Dragon number 2, a powerful dragon with teeth that can grind almost anything. That looks like the monster from Fallout. Death Claws? 1600. I mean, back in the day. I'm like reminiscing about Blue Eyes, like Legend of Blue Eyes. Like it happened freaking last week. But yeah, back in the day, this would have been nice. This would have been a decent attacker. 1600. Nowadays, just not enough. You're gonna get an F. Yo, it's Garuzis. Yo, look at him. Just an armored up lizard. An axe swinging beast warrior with the head of a dragon. Honestly, the body of a dragon too. This actually really reminds me of the lizards in one of the shows I'm watching. So I went to the movies and I saw there's some anime movie called I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. I saw it and I didn't know anything about the show and I was like, okay, this was like a good time. I had a couple beers, but I had a good time. I was like, all right, I'll check out the actual show. And I'm watching the show, and I think I'm on episode, I don't know, 10, 11. But there are lizards that look kind of exactly like this. Though I will say it's not really an uncommon design to just have, like, big buff lizard men. Cool. I like it. It's real simple. Armor, axe, lizard, buff. B for art. F for gameplay though. Two-headed King Rex. That sounds really familiar. Was that an anime card? Why does that sound familiar? A powerful monster whose 2 heads attack is 1. I kind of like the buff lizard a little bit more. Hey, you know, it's a dinosaur, 1600 attack again. Maybe you would have been useful a couple, at this point in Yu-Gi-Oh, is it a year ago? Oh no, I mean, this is like the same year. It's the same year as Legend of Blue Eyes. Wow. The power creep happened quick. Yeah, F for you, Two-Headed King Rex. Queen of Autumn Leaves. It's the same artist again. You could tell. I wish I knew who did that. Because you could tell who's making these elves. You could tell. Queen of the Emerald Forest and wife of the Spirit King. She lives surrounded by vivid red leaves. Love the art. Wow. Yeah, whoever did those pieces back then, like stunning. Like my favorite artist. I hope they're still working there somehow. I mean, I'm sure I would be able to tell from the style nowadays, but wow, really, really cool. You know what? It's obviously an F, but you get a B for art. Okay? B for art. Ooh, another good one. Reminds me of D&D. Maiden of the Moonlight. Sorcerer blessed by lunar light with powers far beyond mortal comprehension. Again, very, very beautiful card. I have to pick some of these up. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just have a collection of just random old Yu-Gi-Oh! Vanilla commons at this point. That's gonna be my thing. Yeah, again, F for stats, but you know what? Nice solid a B+ for art. I'm just gonna have to hand out art grades for the vanillas at this point. I think we're at the juncture where vanilla 1500s are just you know the grade. You know the grade. Here we have Takuhi, a winged beast. This bird is known far and wide as a harbinger of doom. All right, Takuhei. Not like super impressed by the artwork, but it's solid. It's solid. I think this gets an art C. Okay, here's Faith the bird. This long-tailed bird binds its enemies with mystical light. I kind of like what they did here. Like the actual style is kind of the same, but I like what they did with the background. So Faith bird, you get an art C+. Also, I think you have 50 more attack than the other one, so yay. You get a little bonus points for that too. Spirit of the books. Okay, this gets an art B. Dude, he has books. That's sick. This wise spirit dwells in books. Oh, he lives in books. Using its accumulated knowledge to defeat enemies. I don't want little crazy wild birds or like a spirit bird. Nah, give me the bird that reads. You know he's cooking up something fierce. Yeah, spirit of the books, art B. Keep obtaining that knowledge. Here we have stuffed animal. That's a literal stuffed animal. Is that the teddy bear? Is that the 2 eyes and like a huge smile too? Damn, even like discounting the sharp teeth and tongue coming out of the body of this stuffed animal, just the actual bear itself looks creepy. It may look like a harmless stuffed animal. No, it doesn't, but its zipper mouth deals a deadly bite. I mean, it's kind of funny. I guess it kind of gets like a B- for art. I'm gonna be little more strict with my art grades. We're gonna go C+ for stuffed animal. Okay, here we have Dharma Cannon, a monstrous creature whose body is lined with cannons that never miss its targets. Level 2, 900, 500. Nah, man. I mean, you do have a straight up gun coming out of you. You never miss. So that's a plus. I mean, what can I say about the art? I mean, it looks like rated R Mr. Potato Head. He's got 2 guns coming out of him, assumedly some sort of spikes around the guns. Something's firing from there. I guess those are... Oh no, those aren't guns, those are cannons. How big is this thing? How large is this? I can't tell the scale. It looks like Mr. Potato Head. I assume it's like a small little gremlin that just shoots people. Oh, his eye is like a little marksman thing. I guess that's how he aims. Or his left eye rather. His right eye is just deadpan staring at something. All right, Dharma Cannon. Yeah, I mean, I guess you get a nice solid C. A little unsettling. Turu Purin. Oh, look at this little guy. He's holding his little trident. Aw. A strange one-eyed monster that can fell an enemy with a single stab of its spear. Flavor text does it justice. Why does he have an anchor? Like just to really hammer home, hey, it's an aquatic creature. I feel like crazy wild creatures that are just, I mean, I don't really know where this thing lives, but I would assume it wouldn't have a man-made printing of what we use to like keep boats in place on them, unless an anchor is a universal sign of aquaticness. Pulls me out of my immersion a little bit. I think trident is a good, having a trident is a good, what do you call it, trope? I like that. I like that kind of trope. Big anchor sticker. You're cute though. So the anchor sticker bumps you down to like a C-, but you're cute. Ooh, I love this piece too. Look at that. Dancing elf. An elf that dances across the sky with wings, razor sharp blades. Oh, that got metal pretty quick. 1 star. Yeah, I mean, wow. There's no reason to ever use this card. Looks nice though. C+. C+ for dancing elf. Okay, those were the commons. Those were all vanillas and they were all unplayable. Let's get into cards with text. It basically doesn't have text. Increase your life points by 800. Yeah, no, that's not happening. But wow, wow, what's going on? Are you like draining? Is it one of those like rituals where you drain the bad blood out of you? Man, how far have we come as humans? Freaking drill holes in our head to relieve headaches. Wow. And yeah, you just know this was censored. TCG. Blood is a little too scary, especially on Angel. Yeah, I mean, it's an F. I guess I have to give this, I can't give it an art grade because it has text, but F for playability. It looks really, really cool. Sonic Maid and a beautiful Head Huntress combined to make Warrior of Tradition. It's been a while since we've seen an unplayable fusion, but here it is. She definitely is holding a huge meat cleaver. What kind of weapon is that, actually? She's pissed. She is angry. Whatever she's holding and whatever she's looking at, she's pissed and she's about to cut it up. So F for playability, but again, I'm liking the art. Mystical Sheep #1. Wasn't #2 like a long time ago? Did they finally make #1? You can substitute this card for any one fusion. Oh, it's one of these. They made another one of these? How much redundancy do they want in these things? Unless this was in that pack, the last pack. Wow. Okay. I mean, again, they're solid. I think someone did mention these do get power creeped. I guess there's just better fusion substitute kind of things. So, I mean, I kind of gave them like pretty decent grades, just thinking of the longer term. Again, for the current meta, I mean, there's no fusions at all. You know, it's one of those things, F right now, and I guess if they get power crept, they kind of get like a longevity C to D at this point. I'll give it a D. If it gets straight outclassed by something else later, it's a D, you know, unless you need like a ton of redundancy. Probably won't be needed. Here we got Sonic Maid. I think that's what you use to make the fusion. A maiden that uses sound to her advantage. She wields a scythe that's shaped like a musical note. That's cool. I like that. Doesn't really look like a musical note. There's musical notes around her, but that scythe just kind of looks like a scythe. I don't know how to read sheet music. I spent like 3 years of my life sorting sheet music as a librarian, but no, that just looks like a genuine scythe to me. So I don't know what you're going for here, Sonic Maid, but you get an F. We have the beautiful head huntress. She is beautiful. That is true. A vicious creature that has decapitated numerous enemy monsters. Thank goodness I am not an enemy monster. Okay, so Tournament Pack 2 just has a bunch of women with machetes. I'm down for it. She's beautiful, she's a head huntress, and she decapitates. I'm surprised they allowed that in the flavor text for English. Yeah, it's gonna be an F for beautiful head huntress, but a C+ for art, maybe even B-. Revival of the oh boy, here we go. Revival of the Dooku Rorider? Revival of the Dooku Rorider. That has to be wrong. Oh wait, Dooku Row Rider? Revival of the Dooku Row Rider, because he's riding something. This card can be used to ritual summon Dooku Row Rider. I'm just gonna say Rider. You must also offer monsters whose total level stars equals 6 or more as tribute from your field or your hand. Well, I guess I have to look up who Mr. Ryder is here. Never mind, I do not have to look it up. It's the next card. This monster can only be ritual summoned with the Revival, and it's vanilla. Oh, dude. Bro, wait. That's freaking, a little bit before my time. Isn't that just Skeletor? Skeletor riding a bone motorcycle. And the wheels, just to add even just more metal into the mix, the wheels just have spikes on them. Like, you can't actually use this motorcycle unless it's floating with magic, which I'm sure this rider can do. Yeah, that's sick. I have to look at the oh yeah. Oh, this is so cool. Damn, look at that. Holy shit. That's like him. He's getting on his bike, planting the flag, and then here he is. Man, I wish they used that same kind of like background. Like the actual ritual spell itself like has really cool background. Kind of got lazy with the background on this one a little bit, not going to lie. They could have made this a little more badass if it wasn't just green bars. Ryder, you are getting obviously an F. Love the flavor. B+. B+ for the art. Novak's Prayer. Oh, another ritual. Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna look for the Skull Guardian here. Here's the Skull Guardian. Again, see, this is the background they should have used for the rider. This like really dark web thing. Again, it's not playable. You can't play it. Looks cool though. C+. C+ for the art. Actually, no, this has text on it. I have to give it an F. You're fucking with me now. You're fucking with me now. What do I even... How do I even... Mikazu Kino Yabiya. Mikazu Kino Yabiya? Mikazu Kino Yabiya. That just sounds like freaking... Like the direct translation from Japanese that they just put in. I always forget the word for it. Where you just take the... you basically take Japanese and write it like with English characters, you know? So this is a Dragon of the Moon armed with a crescent sword. This just looks like a Bloodborne enemy, like straight up. Even the flavor text just screams Soulsborne to me. Yeah, not very playable, but I'm digging it. This gets a nice solid B. I mean, it's a dragon, just like black and red armor, huge blade, just pure evil looking. I want to pick up a copy of this, and I'm going to learn how to pronounce its name properly. Mikazu Kino Yabiya. Call of the Grave. When your opponent activates Monster Reborn, negate the effect of Monster Reborn. Yeah, we've done this song and dance with Whitehole. Is that what Whitehole did? Not worth it. Just play better cards in your deck. F for you. Call of the Grave. Here we have Exile of the Wicked. Destroy all fiend monsters on the field. Fuck you Summon Skull. That's the only fiend I can think of. And I assume that's probably why this was printed. And I assume it also was just not played, because there's generic removal that's just better. I mean, if Fiend Tribal becomes a problem, sure, it's an A. But yeah, no, it's an F. It's an F. Giant red sea snake. Okay, we had a Mikazu Yabiya thing, and then they just typed out literally what this thing is. A sea-dwelling snake that attacks passing enemies with its sharp teeth. Yeah, okay, not much to say here. It is a giant red sea snake. And for arts, oh wait, it's actually an 1800. This gets like a legitimate like grade of probably a C, maybe even a B. If Mechanical Chaser was still very unobtainable, in theory this one would be just as unobtainable because this is also in the tournament pack, though possibly at a lower rarity. I'm not 100% sure, but also it's another 1800 if you're going on this full-on beatdown. I don't know how many truly of those normal summons that you need, but the option's there. So yeah, damn, I don't even know truly where to put these at this point. Let's give the sea snake a B. I think that's fair of where to put it. It's not technically the best anymore, but if, like I said, Mechanical Chaser's still not available, I think that's where it should be. Here is the Dragon Seeker. When this card is normal summoned or flip summoned, destroy one face-up dragon-type monster on the field. Ooh, it's a tribute set. Oh, I guess it just normal summon, so you could just play this. Solid. If you're going against a dragon deck, comes in, blows something up, and it's an okay body. Okay body for the effects, but as far as I know, there's not a lot of dragon monsters. I think the blue eyes thing kind of came and went at this point, but if it ever became the prominent strategy, I could maybe see putting this in the sideboard if your locals at the time still had a bunch of those floating around. So yeah, I mean, solid, but still says destroy a monster on it. We'll do D+ for Dragon Seeker, maybe leaning C-. Again, it's super niche, but then again, I gave destroy all fiend type monsters an F. So, I mean, in a way, kind of the same deal. I do think there's a higher chance of dragon-type monsters being on the field than just a fiend tribal deck, you know what I mean? So, though possibly at this point, you're seeing Summon Skull more than any dragon-type monsters. So, would a 1-for-1 removal spell for Summon Skull actually be that bad? I think I might have undergraded the fiend destruction thing. Maybe a smidge. Maybe it's not a full-on F. Maybe it also is a D. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to revise that. I'm going to take that back. The destroy all fiend type monsters, that's a D. Just niche. There's better options out there. Okay, so there is a collector's tin I'm seeing here on the promos, and it's just all things we've already seen before. Here's Lord of D. They got Dark Magician, all that stuff, all the basics. That has blue eyes and all that. All stuff we've already reviewed, and not really much of a point in going back to those. All right, here is Eternal Duelist Soul promos. There's 3 of these, and I do remember seeing the other 2 before. Those are Joey cards. For fact, I think this is too. I think these are all 3 of Joey's stuff. I don't know what this is from, if this is a video game or not, or if this was a TV special or something. Both players reveal their hands and add 1 card from each other's hands to their hand. And here we have in the art depicting someone is taking Exodia and the other player is taking a Regeki. Okay, so if you've taken their head of Exodia, what are you gonna do with it? I guess slowing them down a little bit, but this does not seem like a favorable trade. Why would you not take the Pot of Greed? I guess we don't know the board state of Exchange. That's pretty important. Looks like they're all playing some good cards though. Like Konami knew kind of what the good cards in the format were, right? They had Mirror Force, there's a Regeki, there's Pot of Greed. Looks like that's Dark Magician and Time Wizard. I don't know what your deck's trying to do. There's just good stuff, right? Possibly what all the decks were back then. Play Exodia, you play good stuff. Really, Konami, you couldn't throw a bone to the vanillas that you so dastardly understated. We really have to be showcasing Exodia, Mirror Force, all that stuff. Really? Come on. Exchange as a card though, I can't find a use for this. I genuinely can't. It's like, I guess actually, if Exodias were all limited to 1, and you exchange the 1 piece into your hand, they can never win. I suppose, like, that's the only truly good reason I could see ever playing this card. Like, obviously you never main deck it, it'd have to be in the sideboard. So it's like a sideboard, you win the game against Exodia? I don't know, that's so niche. We're just gonna give this an F and move on. Yeah, here it is. Here's the dice cards. I remember this. Roll 6-sided die. All monsters you currently control gain attack defense equal to the result times 100 until end of this turn. Quick play spell. So it's a nice little combat trait, actually. I don't think you'd play this in constructed, but in limited, might not be the worst. How bad is the randomness aspect of it? Let's say in the draft, if you're all playing the best vanillas that you can get your hands on, there shouldn't be too big of a disparity in the attack defense. So like, would your margin of error just be like, if you specifically only like get a 1, let's say? Yeah, it kind of just feels like a bad combat trait, actually. I'm comparing it to Rush Recklessly, and yeah, nah, this just doesn't stack up. You have to get very lucky, and then it's almost Rush Recklessly. Yeah, like, it's maybe like a limited D-, or just an F. Yeah, I probably would not play this. F for Graceful Dice. And here's Skull Dice. This is the one I remember the most. Roll 6-sided die. It's reversed, so they lose the attack and defense. Does that have better implications? Also, it's a trap card. You can't use it the turn you draw it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like in constructed, like, especially if the meta is like, oh, my tutors are searching my tutors are searching my tutors. Like, in limited, you want to be looking for combat tricks on the power of, like, Rush Recklessly, and these just don't even get there, right? And even Rush Recklessly is still just a kind of middle-of-the-road card. You know what I mean? So comparatively, yeah, I'm not really feeling this one too much. We're gonna go F on Skull Dice. Maybe I undershot these like a little bit. Maybe they're like still like semi-playable, but in limited, but yeah, I would probably just avoid these. Okay, here we have McDonald's promos. I wish I picked up some of these as a kid. How did you actually even get these? Were they just in Happy Meals and you just got like a pack or something? Were they individual? Anyway, here's Turtle Bird. It is a turtle bird. Man, that's cool looking. I love that. An unusual turtle that not only swims at tremendous speeds, but can also sail across the sky. Yeah, I mean, so it's an F stat-wise, but yeah, no, this thing's cool. This thing's cool. Yeah, B-. B- for art. Ushi Oni. Okay. We have a devil. What is even happening? What am I looking at? Excuse me? Okay, I want to break this down. It's Minotaur dog thing. Okay, it has horns, so it kind of has the face of a dog, but it has the horns, so I think it's like a bull. Just has a face on it. This like maniacal shit-eating grin. This arm face, I don't even know what to call it. And then it's also coming out of a lamp or a jar of some sort. And then to top everything off, we have some tentacles coming out of God knows where. We also have just some spikes, some horns coming out of, maybe that's its rib cage. Its rib cage doubles as a defensive mechanism. And this blue. What is the blue? It looks like a shirt. It possibly like ripped around if you see the collar, which also is another thing. Like, I think it might have ripped. Is that a shirt? Is that just his color? You know, it's almost 5 a.m. I've been up for a little while. I'm going to have nightmares as I take a nap before work. This thing is ridiculous looking. It is that. I've said this before, but this is actually fever dream territory. Like, what is going on? You get a, I don't even know what to give you. It's cool. I think I like it. B-. Sure. Here we got Fairy Gift. This looks like the same fairy from the, what was it, the field spell? That gives you plus attack minus defense? Or did it lower the defense of dark monsters or something? Something like that. But this looks like the vanilla version of it. This flying monster is known for delivering happiness. Now see, this is appealing to the IR. Nice colors. Love the background gradient. Very cool looking. Yeah. This one gets a happy B-, not a confused B-. And this one's even more simple. Flying penguin. Why don't they fly to begin with? A very rare penguin that takes to the air with its ears shaped like wings. Okay. Cool. Solid C for you, flying penguin. 3-legged zombies. No, wait a minute. I've seen this before. I've 100% fought, hold on. You'll have to give me a second here. I've seen this card art before. It's freaking them, dude. I've seen this card so many times. I've fought this freaking zombie deck, and that's why Yu-Gi-Oh is really cool. 3-legged zombies. Well, I don't think you're as good as your modern day counterparts. Pair of friendly skeletons, lean and fat, that travel with extreme difficulty. Those two are bros though. You know what? They're bros. And they get better 10 plus years later. 3-legged zombies, you get a B. Here's Yamadaran. This monster has 3 fire-breathing heads that can form a sea of blazing flames. Looks like a boss. Looks like a boss on like a 2D side-scroller game. I like it. Looks solid. Looks cool. You get a nice solid C. We have Megasonic Eye, made of mysterious metal. This monster is a doomsday machine from the edge of the universe. Yeah, edges of the universe probably do have mysterious metals. The fact that it became a doomsday machine, I mean, not like a literal machine, it looks like. I mean, possibly. I guess that's what they implied with the metal. It looks very fleshy. I don't really see like the metallic portion of what we're looking at here, but it is officially a card type machine. So take your word for it. God, it's a tribute 1500, man. What are we doing? I guess it's McDonald's promos. You don't want it to be too good. So, abysmal stats, but C- for art. C-. Okay, we've already seen you, stuffed animal. They took it right out of the tournament pack. Put it right in the McDonald's promos. That's crazy. Okay, here we have Yarenzo. All right, here comes Yarenzo coming out of the chest here. Treasure box containing a monster that attacks any unwary bandit. Not fully a mimic, but I mean, unless Yarenzo here is part of the chest itself. Yeah, zombie coming out of a chest inside a very trippy room. I like how this chest has like a shadow. Like it actually, you would think this background would just be like a standard background gradient, you know what I mean? But it looks like it's actually like the floor to something, with the shadow there. So odd, strange. What room is this in? How did Yarenzo get here? And what travelers are inside here? A lot of lore I need to figure out. C for you, Lorenzo. We got Slime Toad. I've seen this thing before. I don't know if I reviewed it before, but I've seen this thing around. A slime with the head of a frog. It attacks by croaking terribly. What do you mean croaking? What? Wait, what did they mean by that? That's like saying like I attack by singing terribly. Like, I guess that is an attack in a way. All right, Slime Toad. Man, why are you so angry? Yeah, C+ for Slime Toad. All right, he's trying his best. Ooh, we got text. Here we go. Piercing Light. Flip all face down monsters on your opponent's side of the field. What is the combo with this? Is it just to gain information mostly? So you don't like bonk into a like a wall of illusion or something, right? They still all get their flip effects. And be actually a little bit more interesting if you could play this, if it was double-sided, right? You could play your flip monster, play this, and all of them flip up on the same turn. That'd be a pretty nice little combo. With this, could be good for getting the Cyber Jar out, right? So you can Cyber Jar on your first main phase and then actually use your cards. You don't have to do everything on your second main. I'm like trying to find like small little use cases for this that are, again, just so terribly niche that, you know, while it's not the most useless card possibly in the world, there's just no space for this. Though that said, I mean, yeah, I assume this probably is just not played. We're gonna go F for Dark Piercing Light. All right, back to the vanillas. Here we have Takiriminos, a member of a race of sea serpents that freely travels through the sea. That's a happy little slice of flavor text. He looks way more menacing than the flavor text leads on. I mean, we had women with cleavers that are talking about decapitating enemies, and this guy just kind of just travels through the sea, but he just looks like a horror, an absolute horror. Yeah, solid C+ for the artwork. I like it. Goddess of the Whim. Once per turn, you can toss a coin and call heads or tails. If you call it right, double this card's attack during this turn. If you call it wrong, have its attack during this turn. Yeah, I mean, if you call it right, one of the better normal summons. 1900, that beats the Mechanical Tracer. Beats all the 7-colored fish legends. Damn. Okay. I mean, yeah, but I mean, in no feasible way, you're just gonna bet, like, if you go to a tournament, you're just like, oh, let's just high roll the tournament and just call heads all the time, you know? All right, it would be great for like an FNM or something like that. FNM, yeah, Friday Night Magic for Yugioh. Yeah, just for like a local or, you know, playground. This is perfect. That said, I mean, I guess technically it's like it's not an F. Clearly, it still does have some power. Yeah, I'll give it like a D. If you're feeling lucky that day, yeah, bring this card to a tournament. Other than that, you know, keep it local. Cosmo Queen. She kind of looks like my freaking Zero Errands. Oh, pick me up a Cosmo Queen. Look at you. Finger's a little scary. Queen of the Galaxies and Mistress of the Stars. Cosmo Queen, you are my queen. She's kind of big. She is kind of, I mean, not as big as, you know, like Blue Eyes or whatnot. 2900 is actually close. You're getting there. You're on the right track. I mean, I don't want to have to just F you, but I'm gonna have to. But art-wise, you get a... No, you know what? For my queen, a B-. Here we have Millennium Shield, a famous shield said to belong to an ancient Egyptian pharaoh, Yugioh. Oh my god. Legends tell of its power to block any strong attack. So they printed Labyrinth Wall again. I thought Labyrinth Wall was also an Earth. Kind of makes it a little rough for the tutor cards to find them, because you have to play the only the rat. Only the rat can find both of those. Be nice to have. Oh man, if this was like dark subtype, that would be. Yeah, Millennium Shields. You know, if Labyrinth Wall was, you know, like a C plus B card. Yeah, I mean, it's the exact same thing, right? So yeah, probably just like a B minus for Millennium Shield. 3,000 defense is so hard to get by. Okay, we have 3 here from Duelist of the Roses, which I know is a game. Okay, so here's Gamma the Magnet Warrior. Big S just plastered on there. It's okay, Magnet for M. Don't know what the S's mean. Alpha, Beta, and Gamma meld as one to form a powerful monster. Not much to say about the art. Solid C. Here's Beta, the Magnet Warrior. Same flavor text. 1700 on the 4-star. That used to be pretty good. Maybe it's still technically like a D in some world. Just another cute little dude. Another C for you. And here is Alpha, the Magnet Warrior. Again, same flavor text, worse stats. There is no final form or anything. They just gave out these promos and you're supposed to, I guess, play pretend. Again, yeah, same for you. Maybe you get a C+. I think you look a little cooler. Yeah, C+ for you, Alpha. Okay, so these are the last couple. These are participation cards. So after this, it should be just a straight shot between the 2 big sets. Kind of do them all in one shot. So here's a Barrel Dragon. I know 100% I reviewed this one. And there was a couple Barrel Dragon fans in the Metal Raiders video. Yeah, people are a big fan of this card. I mean, hell. Yeah, maybe you know what? It's cool. I like it. I do like it. Maybe it's just towards the end of the review. Maybe I was just, you know, maybe I had a headache. Nah, I like this. This thing's pretty cool. Barrel Dragon, a D+. Maybe even a C- for Barrel Dragon. Here's Time Wizard again. I don't want to talk about Time Wizard. I don't want to. Buster Blader. I don't think maybe I have reviewed this one. Gains 500 attack for each dragon monster your opponent controls or is in their grave. No, I don't think I've reviewed this. There's a lot of anti-dragon cards. There's a lot. Only opponent controls makes this really, really niche. Though, with just one, this thing becomes a monster. The difference between 26 and being able to slay a Blue Eyes, right? Oh, and the art's so cool on this one. Yeah, I mean, if you're going against a dragon deck, this thing's really good. But with the amount of dragon hate, like dragons would probably just never be meta. Yeah, it's a cute little card. I'll give Buster Blader I'll give it a D, maybe like a D+. It certainly has some power, and if there's ever like a dragon meta, you know, it could find a spot. It's not totally unplayable. Let's do D+ for Buster Blader. And last card is Thousand Eyes Restrict. It is a fusion between Relinquished and Thousand Eyes Idol. Other monsters on the field cannot change their battle positions or attack. Once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls, equip that target to this card, max of 1. This card attack and defense becomes equal to that equipped monster's. This card will be destroyed by battle. Destroy that equipped monster instead. Whoa! Relinquished gets a fusion. The hell's a Thousand Eyes Idol? Thousand Eyes Idol. It's just a vanilla. I don't know if I reviewed that yet. If I did, it was not memorable. So now you use your ritual summon. I guess that's kind of the backup plan for Relinquished. If you can't figure out how to get all the cards you need in hand, you could kind of throw away your ritual blue card and hope you draw into this vanilla and get them summoned away. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the same as Relinquished, where it's just a pipe dream. And honestly, if you're trying to cram both of these in there and saying, I really want this Thousand Eyes / Relinquish strategy, it's just so many more bricks you're throwing into your deck. I'm trying to figure out how this works. Other monsters cannot change the battle positions or attack. So how would the last line of text even matter? This card would be destroyed by battle. Like, or is the purpose of this oh, okay, I see now. So you want to play this. All of their monsters are in attack position. You grab their monsters, attach it to this, and slam into their cards. Pick apart their entire board until there's nothing left. Until there's nothing left. Until they play a defender at that point. And then like the carnage kind of stops. But man, they really need to figure out a way to deal with this thing. It's the same kind of thing as Relinquish, where it's very hard to get out, but also very strong when it hits the battlefield. It's like an A in a vacuum, but the way the game wants you to play the card just makes it feel impossible. you're probably gonna get run down so hard unless you draw like the perfect amount of spells. Yeah, I mean, same kind of grade. It's like the archetype itself gets like a C-. Very middle of the road. Probably not even like fully rogue tier. It's just kind of like a locals strat thing. You know what? I went through all my tabs and I was like, all right, I think I got everything. About to do the outro, and I was like, wait, I didn't review Morphing Jar. I actually even know this card. That might be why I like subconsciously skipped it. I'm like, oh yeah, I know this card. I've seen this before. I'm sure there's a comment saying I missed Morphing Jar. You didn't watch to the end. You didn't watch to the end. But here's Morphing Jar. Flip, both players discard as many cards as possible, and then they each draw 5. I pulled this twice from the Legacy packs. Not as insane as Cyber Jar, but still very, very powerful. I mean, when this resolves in like a modern game of Yu-Gi-Oh, it's hard to use a flip monster in current day. This card is unofficial. Describes its functionality in OCG. Is there really like rules discrepancy for something very simple as discard your hand, draw 5? I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Probably just an easy A, especially for the time. Discard, draw 5. I mean, again, this is one of those things where you set it up, you get your first crack, and assumedly, you know, you would probably play this in maybe a more spell heavy, like maybe back row deck. You can just empty your whole hand out, and then when your opponent triggers this, which I guess if they're playing correctly, they would set their spells and traps second main phase. But maybe in this era of Yu-Gi-Oh, you have to be mindful of Cyber Jar, Morphing Jar that you want to set beforehand. I think I was having that conundrum on another card too. Not much else to say about Morphing Jar. Gets a nice easy A. And that wraps up all of those tournament packs and promos and a bunch of loose ends. There's so many of these things. Just in the first year, you could really tell they're trying to market the hell out of Yu-Gi-Oh early. Like, McDonald's has like what? Like 20 cards in their packs. Like, again, I don't know how they distributed those, but my goodness, there's a lot of little stuff. That is definitely not something, at least I don't think that's what you saw with Magic. I mean, there were starter decks for sure, but wow, yeah, they were pushing this hard. Man, really, aside from Morphing Jar, not much to note. Really just was a lot of vanillas. I guess the other copies of that Shield 3000 defense, that is something to note. And Thousand Eyes Restrict, again, like really cool card text, but man, polymerization was not the best back then. Yeah, overall, I still had fun though. I still had a great time. And that'll be it for me. Hope you all have a very good one. Peace, peace.